This is WKYT This Morning.
It's Friday. Good morning and welcome to WKYT This Morning. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. November 6th is the date.
And our time has just hit 6:31. A 7-year veteran of the Richmond Police Department has died overnight, days after being shot while on duty. We're live with WKYT team coverage.
2 men are fighting for their lives after an early morning shooting in Lexington.
And KSU is preparing for a tough test tonight against Kentucky at Rupp Arena. It's the Cats' final exhibition game of the season.
We have some showers out and about this morning. A lot of us dealing with very light rain, but even some people dealing with pretty heavy downpours at this moment. Starting to fade away the heaviest portion of this. But what you're going to be seeing, a lot of that moving on out, and things really tapering off through the afternoon, off into the evening hours. So the second half of the day looks much better and actually feels pretty nice today. We won't feel those cold effects until this weekend, but I'll show you those numbers in just about 5 to 10 minutes.
Micah, thank you. And if you're just waking up or if you've been with us this morning, there is tragic news in our region from overnight. State police have confirmed that Richmond police officer Daniel Ellis died this morning.
Officer Ellis was just 33 years old. He was shot Wednesday morning while investigating an attempted robbery in Richmond. We begin our live team coverage with WKYT's Michelle Chamberlain, who's at UK Hospital.
Yes, just heartbreaking news as Officer Ellis passed away shortly after 2 o'clock here at the University of Kentucky Hospital. I was reading Facebook posts by our viewers giving their condolences, and it's safe to say that viewers are saddened all over the state by this news. You can see video here from around 4 o'clock this morning as a procession of dozens of police officers going down Limestone, escorting Officer Ellis to the examiner's office in Frankfort. Ellis had been in critical condition after police say he was shot in the head while investigating an armed robbery in Richmond on Wednesday. 3 people are in jail in connection to his shooting: Greg Ratliff, Rita Creech, and Raleigh Sizemore. Investigators say Sizemore is the one who shot Officer Ellis. As the 7-year veteran fought for his life since that shooting, so many people showed their support through kind words, vigils, and fundraisers. Officer Ellis's brothers and sisters in blue thank everyone for that support they've received for one of their own.
The Richmond Police Department is extremely grateful for the prayers and support that have been extended to Officer Daniel Ellis, his family, friends, and fellow officers. We ask that you continue to pray for them as they grieve this tremendous loss.
Just such sad news as Officer Ellis was only 33 years old. He leaves behind a wife and a young child. Kentucky State Police say his funeral arrangements will be planned in the upcoming days, and we will definitely keep you posted on that. Live in Lexington, Michelle Chamberlain, WKYT.
Tough morning, certainly. And before news of his death, several businesses in Richmond had already been planning fundraisers for Officer Ellis's family.
Today's events will obviously take on a much different tone. WKYT's Mike Byer is continuing our team coverage via phone from Richmond with a look at some of the things that are planned today.
Good morning, Bill and Rebecca. Fortunately, coming to you from the phone due to the rain. But the community of Richmond is now in mourning after learning that police officer Daniel Ellis has passed away from his injuries. As you guys mentioned, there are several fundraisers and services today. They will be held in honor of the fallen officer. Beginning at 10:30 this morning on 1st and Irvin Street, Richmond native Brandy Bowles will have her food truck set up. That's an effort to raise money for the Ellis family. Bowles has a connection to the Richmond Police Department. Her husband retired from the department 5 years ago after being hurt in the line of duty. A prayer service will also be held tonight for the 7-year veteran of the police force. It will take place at First Christian Church. That's here in Richmond, beginning at 6:30. Now, I can't show you guys because obviously I'm not coming to you from the camera, but several members of the local law enforcement have been out here this morning at the Richmond Police Department just adding black bands to Ellis's squad car after learning that their friend has passed away. Live in Richmond, Mike Byer, WKYT.
All right, thanks, Mike. Other signs of support for Officer Ellis are showing up around Richmond. This display popped up in Irvin McDowell Park along Lancaster Avenue. The Richmond Tourism Department put it up as a way to show their support. Stay with WKYT for the latest. Of course, you can find complete coverage on our website, WKYT.com.
Obviously a difficult day and difficult days ahead there in Richmond. Well, digging through court records, we have learned that the man accused of shooting Officer Ellis has a long criminal history. Raleigh Sizemore has been moved from the jail in Richmond to the Kentucky State Reformatory in LaGrange. He was released from prison on parole back in April after serving 3 years of a 10-year sentence for meth charges. In June, he was arrested in Berea and charged with wanton endangerment. Police say he charged at someone with a knife. He was out on bail from that charge when he was arrested this week. Sizemore is charged with attempted murder of an officer, but that charge, of course, will likely now be upgraded. That Officer Ellis has died. Now, we are also tracking some breaking news in Lexington this morning. We want to get you up to the minute on that. 2 men are fighting for their lives after being shot outside of a strip club.
Well, this shooting happened just before 3 o'clock this morning. That's outside Camelot East on New Circle, or near New Circle on Richmond Road. Police say when they got there, they found one man who'd been shot in the head. Another later showed up at UK Hospital with a gunshot wound to the chest. Right now, police say they have no information about the shooter. Also new this morning, police are looking for the man who robbed a Lexington gas station just before 2 this morning. Police say a man wearing a hoodie walked into the Speedway on New Circle at Meadow Lane. He stole cash before running behind the store.
Also happening today, sentencing is scheduled for a former Lexington firefighter convicted in a violent hit-and-run crash. Jared McCargo was found guilty of assault and DUI in a crash last year at the Beer Trap in Chevy Chase. That crash seriously injured a National Guard soldier. It also damaged the building. The jury recommended a 10-year sentence for McCargo. A Nicholasville EMS worker is in critical condition this morning after being hit by a car. That happened last night in downtown Nicholasville at South Maple and York Streets. Police say a car crashed into an ambulance and kept going. And when the EMS workers went to check out the damage, one of the workers was hit by another car. The worker was rushed to UK Hospital with life-threatening injuries. Police say there was little that the 17-year-old driver who hit him could have done to avoid the crash. Police are working with school officials after an alleged threat at a Clark County school. The sheriff says that threat was toward George Rogers Clark High School in Winchester. School leaders determined that the threat is not credible. They say there will be classes there today, but the sheriff says some extra officers will be at the school this morning.
The all clear has been given this morning in Cynthiana after a chlorine leak at the water treatment plant. The Harrison County Emergency Management Director says a regulator at the plant started leaking last night. They were able to get the leak under control, but as a precaution, a code red was issued. People were asked to stay indoors. Police say some of the chlorine made it into the river, but they do say the water is safe to drink. So good news there. Well, new this morning, an Ohio jury is asking a judge to spare the life of a Central Kentucky man who committed a brutal murder. Daniel French killed an 87-year-old grandmother and stuffed her body in a trunk. He showed some remorse when he took the stand this week. Last night, the jury recommended life without the possibility of parole. Kentucky County Clerk Kim Davis has lost another bid to delay issuing marriage licenses to same-sex couples. The 6th Circuit U.S. Court of Appeals denied her latest request for a reprieve. Davis stopped issuing marriage licenses after the U.S. Supreme Court effectively legalized gay marriage in June. Kentucky State University will play in Rupp Arena tonight for the first time since, taking it back to 2001.
It's been a while, an opportunity for them. The Cats will take on the Thoroughbreds in their final exhibition game. John Calipari saw a lot of good things in Monday's game against Ottawa, but he says he still doesn't have a good idea of what his rotations will be and how many players he will be playing. As for Kentucky State, the Thoroughbreds were in Rupp Arena yesterday, getting accustomed to those large surroundings. They're coached by Nardale Williams, and he says his team will not back down. The second and final exhibition game is tonight. Tip-off is scheduled for 6 o'clock, and it will be on ESPNU. And the Kentucky football team will be playing at Georgia tomorrow without running back Boom Williams. Both teams need a win badly, of course. There's a lot of turmoil at Georgia. The Dogs have been falling back. They're 5-3 after their loss to Florida, and the Cats have dropped 3 in a row. Kickoff set for high noon tomorrow. That will be on the SEC network. And let's check live drive traffic now with Officer Don. Good morning.
Good morning. Well, wet roads and at least one issue to deal with out of the box here. It's a crash on I-75 southbound. This one's going to mean the 115. Police are still working that, involving two vehicles at southbound 75 at the 115. You can see the backups approaching the collision. The traffic is getting past it right now. That could have obviously an effect on your commute if you plan to take the interstate this morning. Now, as far as drive times go, including that wreck, we still looks like we're dealing with about normal stuff right now. If you're headed towards from Nicholasville to Lexington, Versailles to Lexington, about 11 minutes. Paris is about 19. 32 minutes coming to Lexington from Richmond as of right now. We'll keep an eye on things and keep you up to date. Now back to you in the studio.
Yeah, everybody be safe traveling in the rain out there this morning, and take that into account as you head out. It's 6:41 on WKYT this morning as we have a lot more news on the way for you on your Friday.
Flightless birds are at it again in Arizona. We'll show you how police are tracking down some escaped emus.
And we still have the rain out and about. Yeah, it's going to be a soggy one this morning, but afternoon off into your weekend looks much better. I'll take you through that coming up next.